Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are, and welcome. So my name is Dr. Janvier Mwitirehe, and I am pleased to guide you through this series of sessions on foundations of statistical thinking. So today, I invite you to shift your perspective from seeing statistics as formulas and calculations to understanding it as a powerful way of thinking that drives better decisions. In development and program evaluation, our ultimate goal is not just to collect data, but to transform data into insight and insight into meaningful impact. So every day in our professional and personal lives, we make decisions based on data, of course. However, having data is not enough. I think you all are along with me. Many poor decisions are made not because of lack of data, but because of poor interpretations of this data. So statistical thinking equips us with the ability to move beyond numbers and be able to ask, one, what do these numbers really mean? Two, can we trust them? And finally, how should they inform our actions? So now let us try to understand what statistical thinking is in simple terms. It is the ability to understand, interpret, and critically question data. It is not, again, about memorizing formulas. It is about developing a mindset. What kind of mindset I'm talking about? It is the mindset that looks for patterns. What changes? What varies? How variation is? The mindset that questions assumptions. As you know, we are building our decision or interpretation on a number of assumptions. So we need to question them. And finally, you need the mindset that seeks the meaning behind the numbers. So as evaluators and decision makers, we must discipline ourselves to never accept data at face value. Don't be impressed by the data you have. You need to take too much attention before you can arrive to any decisions. So statistical thinking involves a number of steps. Here as an illustration, I showed you here step one, data gathering, information processing as step number two, meaning making that can involve many other sub-steps like analysis, interpretation, and finally, decision making. So we need decision making to make a reaction on something that is happening, on a challenge that we have, or we need a decision making to provide a response or to guide others or our actions. So now to structure our thinking, I will present 6 strategic pillars. You may also call them 6 strategic dimensions. So the first one is data production. The second one is we need to consider the context we are working in. And the third one is the central tendency, where we need to come up with this typical value that will support our analysis, our interpretation of data, but we need also to consider the variation from that typical value. And we need also to question on the data, just to consider whether we have data warning sign. There are some challenges, some shortcomings of data. So we need also to pay too much attention to them. As example, here we have outliers, the values that are being extreme from the typical value, and the way the data is moving. And of course, you know that most of the time we have missing values. Those are the signs that will be that we need to also to consider in when we are just applying our statistical thinking. And finally, we need to make inference, just to generalize and then come up with decisions that can be implemented. So here, the most important thing is that those pillars are interconnected. So a weaker or a weakness in one pillar can compromise the entire analysis. So I would like you to think this as a system where strong decisions require strength across all 6 dimensions. So next time or next session will be on data production, the first dimension or the first strategic pillar. And for now, I thank you for being with us. So see you then.